It's our pleasure to welcome Mr. Paul Riley from Brisbane City Council, Australia. Mr. Paul Riley is an experienced regulatory leader who oversees Brisbane City Council animal rehoming services. He is actively involved in promoting best practice in animal management, community safety, and responsible homing approaches. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mr. Paul Riley.
Hello. Good afternoon, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. As Roz has already outlined, Brisbane invests a significant effort into preventing animals from entering the rehoming system through registration, microchipping, education, compliance activities, and responsible pet ownership initiatives. My presentation picks up the story from that point. Today, I will focus on what happens when animals enter Brisbane's Animal Rehoming Centre, or rehoming service because it's a bit more bigger than just one centre, how Council delivers those services through a governance-led strategic partnership model, and some of the operational, governance and partnership lessons that we have learned along the way. While every council operates in a different environment, I hope sharing Brisbane's experience provides some practical insights that might be useful in your own organisations. Brisbane City Council operates two animal rehoming centres. One is north of the city at Warra or Bracken Ridge, and the other is south of the city at Willawong. These facilities support stray, impounded and surrendered animals, along with animals requiring additional care and support before they can be rehomed. As Australia's largest local government by population, Brisbane manages significant demand across a broad range of regulatory and community services. Animal management is no exception. The scale of the service means we need to think about more than day-to-day operations. We need to think about demand, management, governance, risk, capability, service quality, and long-term sustainability. Although operational delivery is undertaken through a strategic partnership arrangement, Council remains accountable for service outcomes, community expectations, and the effective use of public resources. That accountability never transfers. Regardless of who delivers the service, operationally, Council remains responsible for ensuring the service is achieving the outcomes expected by the community. The work Roz has spoken about is critically important because prevention remains the most effective strategy available. Every animal that remains safely with its owner is generally a positive outcome for the animal, the owner, and the services we undertake. Registration, microchipping, education and compliance activities all contribute towards reducing demand on rehoming services. However, despite strong prevention programs, animals will still be lost, surrendered or impounded. When animals are lost, surrendered or impounded, the focus shifts to assessment, care and identifying the most appropriate pathway. Every animal is assessed based on its health, welfare and behavioural needs. Staff then determine the most appropriate pathway for that individual animal. If the owner can be identified, then the best pathway, or the pathway, is reclaim. Sometimes it is foster care and sometimes it might be adoption. The important point is there is no one-size-fits-all approach. Different animals require different responses and different levels of support. Throughout the process, we are balancing animal welfare considerations, legislative obligations, operational requirements, and community expectations. The objective is always to achieve the best possible outcome for the animal while ensuring our services remain sustainable and effective. One of the questions we are frequently asked is why Brisbane uses a strategic partnership model. The answer is pretty straightforward. Council focuses on governance, accountability, contract management, performance monitoring and assurance activities. Our service delivery partner provides specialist operational capability, animal welfare expertise, veterinary services, and daily facility operations. The model allows both organisations to focus on their area of expertise while maintaining a shared commitment to positive outcomes. One of the key benefits we've observed is operational flexibility. Animal management is not a static environment. Demand fluctuates, community expectations evolve, and animal welfare practices continue to develop. Rather than attempting to build every specialist capability internally, so within the council, the partnership model allows council to leverage specialised expertise while maintaining governance, oversight, and accountability. Importantly, the objective is not simply operating facilities. The object is achieving positive outcomes for animals, owners, and the community. The partnership model allows for us to keep our focus on those outcomes while ensuring operational expertise remains the centre of service delivery. Effective governance is one of the key reasons this model works. For Brisbane, governance is not simply a compliance exercise. It provides the framework through which council maintains oversight, manages risk, monitors performance, and ensures services continue to meet community expectations. One of the ongoing challenges with any partnership agreement is finding the right balance between oversight and operational independence. Too little oversight reduces visibility of risks and performance. Too much oversight can become overly administrative and reduces operational agility. Our government's framework seeks to strike an appropriate balance through reporting, performance monitoring, contract management meetings, audits and assurance activities. Importantly, governance discussions focus on outcomes rather than the activity alone. Good governance also supports informed decision making rather than relying on assumptions. Decisions can be supported by operational data, performance trends and evidence. This improves transparency and provides greater confidence that resources are being directed where they are needed most. Another lesson we have learned is that governance should support improvement, not simply compliance. Governance works best when it creates opportunities to identify issues. In identifying issues, the best way to do that is to identify them early, and that allows us to discuss emerging risks and implement improvements before problems become significant. One of the most important lessons we have learned is the value of clearly defining responsibilities in our rehoming activities. Council is responsible, as I've discussed, for the governance, strategic direction, compliance, performance, monitoring, and accountability. The service provider is responsible for operational delivery. While responsibilities differ, desired outcomes remain shared. Both organisations remain focused on positive animal welfare outcomes, community confidence, and effective service delivery. Strong partnerships rely on clarity. In our experience, many partnership challenges arise when responsibilities become unclear or assumptions are made regarding ownership of issues. So we basically manage our animal rehoming centres through contracts, and one of the important lessons is that contracts do not manage themselves. So successful contract management requires active engagement, regular communication, performance monitoring, and continuous improvement. Trust is important, however, we believe trust does not replace governance. Strong governance arrangements, again, actually support stronger partnerships because expectations, performance measures and accountabilities are understood by both parties. One of the biggest lessons from Brisbane's experience is that the most effective partnerships are not built solely on contractual arrangements. They are built on relationships, communication, and a shared focus on outcomes. Over time, obviously, there will inevitably be operational challenges, emerging issues and competing priorities. Strong partnerships create an environment where those issues can be discussed openly and constructively. In our experience, some of the best improvements have come from collaborative discussions about service delivery rather than contractual compliance. So moving on. Every animal entering our animal rehoming service begins a journey. So one of the first priorities is determining whether the animal can be reunited with its owner. Reclaim remains one of the most valuable outcomes available. It reduces animal stress, reunites owners with their pets and creates additional capacity within the service. Reclaim minimises the time spent for an animal in an unfamiliar environment. Animals are reunited with their owners more quickly. Owners regain, obviously, their valued family pets back. Registration and microchipping support reclaim success. Many of the service's most positive stories begin with successful reunification, and this really goes back to the work that, or the presentation that Ros did. So that upfront work really helps us with getting animals through that system. Many successful reclaims begin with the actions taken long before the animal enters care. When reclaim is not possible, other pathways, including foster care and adoption, become important. Veterinary services, behavioural assessments, foster carers, volunteers and adoption programs all contribute to successful outcomes. No single element delivers on its own. Successful outcomes are achieved through multiple pathways working together. Having those pathways available also improves flexibility and resilience across the service. Animals have differing needs, and pathways allow those needs to be matched with the most appropriate outcome. One of the biggest operational lessons we have learned through our animal rehoming services is that capacity should not be viewed solely through the lens of a facility infrastructure. So I guess capacity in this context is about numbers of kennels and cages. When people think about capacity, as I said, they often think about kennels and cattery spaces. While these are important, capacity is also influenced by the effectiveness of service pathways. So, for example, if an animal is reclaimed, adopted or fostered, that creates capacity for our centres. Foster networks also effectively extend our service capability beyond our physical footprint, so we can, rely on foster carers to provide that additional support. This becomes particularly important during periods of increased demand. Like many councils, Brisbane experiences fluctuations in intake volumes and operational pressures. We have seen an increase in dangerous dogs recently. So a dangerous dog is something that has attacked a human or another animal, for example. They're often ones that are under the council compliance framework. Incoming animal numbers display a seasonal trend, increasing during spring and remaining elevated through summer before declining in autumn and reaching their lowest level during winter. This has an effect on our capacity. The pattern is particularly driven by increased cat and kitten intakes, which peak during spring and summer breeding season. Peak demand can place pressure on capacity, staffing, operational workflows, and animal care activities. Managing those periods requires planning, flexibility, data-driven decision-making, and effective operational pathways. We have learned that capacity challenges are often pathway challenges rather than purely infrastructure challenges. When pathways function effectively, animals move through the system more efficiently and positive outcomes are achieved sooner. When pathways become constrained, pressure increases regardless of facility size. We also need to recognise that not all animals place the same demand on the service. Dangerous dogs and other high-risk animals often require specialised housing, increased supervision and additional management controls. Likewise, livestock impoundments can require specialist facilities and differing husbandry arrangements. While these animals may represent a small proportion of intake, they can have a significant impact on operational capacity and resource allocation. This is another area where the partnership model provides value. The ability to draw on specialist operational expertise, foster networks, volunteers, and broader animal welfare capability helps create resilience during peak periods of increased demand. Community participation is also critical. As I've discussed, foster carers, volunteers and adopters contribute significantly to service outcomes and operational resilience. Without that support, achieving the same outcomes would be significantly more challenging. Okay, so what this looks like. So this is the outcomes achieved through the service that demonstrate both the scale and complexity of what we do in Brisbane. So this is for a 12-month period, the most recent 12-month reporting period. So more than 4,500 animals entered care through our rehoming service during the reporting period. More than 2,500 animals found new homes or were adopted. More than 1,100 animals were reunited with their owners. More than 21,000 animals were desexed or neutered. More than 18,000 microchips were 1,800 microchips were implanted, and more than 65,000 animal care days were delivered. Behind every statistic is an individual animal outcome. These outcomes demonstrate the value of strong governance, specialist operation capability, and community participation within a single service delivery model. They also demonstrate the importance of having multiple pathways available to support welfare outcomes, maintain capacity, and respond to changing demand. For me, this slide highlights that successful outcomes are rarely the result of a single intervention. They are the product of governance, operational expertise, planning, community support, and a sustained commitment to continuous improvement. Several lessons stand out from Brisbane's experience. Firstly, prevention remains the most effective strategy. Secondly, reclaim continues to deliver significant benefits for animals, owners and the service itself. Thirdly, governance and partnerships should not be viewed as separate concepts. Strong partnerships rely on effective governance, and effective governance supports successful partnerships. We have also learned that operational flexibility is essential. Demand is not always predictable, and services need the ability to respond while maintaining welfare outcomes and service quality. Another lesson is that community confidence should never be taken for granted. Transparency, accountability, and continued improvement remain essential. We have also learned that successful partnerships require ongoing effort. Signing a contract is only the beginning. Successful partnerships require communication, engagement, performance, monitoring, and a general commitment by all. Finally, we have learned that successful animal rehoming services are not built on infrastructure alone. They are built on governance, partnerships, operational flexibility, community participation, and effective pathways. For councils or municipalities considering a similar approach, my advice would to be clearly define responsibilities, retain accountability, regardless of the service model. Focus on outcomes rather than the activity alone, and invest in pathways that support compliance outcomes, welfare outcomes, and operational resilience. To conclude, Brisbane's experience demonstrates how governance, accountability, and strategic partnerships can work together to support positive animal welfare outcomes. Council retains accountability. The service provider contributes specialist operational expertise. The community contributes through fostering, volunteering, and adoption. Together, these elements create a service that supports reclaim, rehoming, and positive community outcomes. One of the biggest lessons from Brisbane's experience is that successful animal rehoming services are not built on facilities alone. That's it for me at the moment. What I will do now is I'm going to play a video. So there's about a 10-minute video. It goes through really responsible pet ownership. So I'm going to play that video now, and then I'll be back with just a couple of other points. Whoops.
Officer Holly, and this is Officer Rowena, and this is our friend Sammy, and we actually work for council, but not in the team that collect your bins. We actually work for the animal management team. We work hard to make sure that we can return your lost pets home to you and that everyone in the community is safe and happy. This is an animal rehoming centre. Here we take care of lost animals while we try to reunite them back to their families. You can also come here if you're looking for a new animal to adopt, and you can make them a part of your loving family.
And give them a beautiful home. We're here to teach you a few rules. Rules are to teach you how to have a happy, safe and healthy pet. And if a pet do go missing, we were able to return it back to you.
Here in Queensland, there is a law that sets out some rules that pet owners need to follow. It's called the Animal Management Cats and Dogs Act of 2008. If pet owners don't follow these rules, not only could their pet get lost and not be able to be found, they could be fined for doing the wrong thing, just like if they speed in their car. Having a pet means that you're responsible for that animal, just like your parents are responsible for you. That means we need to ensure that we're providing those animals lots of healthy food, lots of clean drinking water, regular checkups with the vet, which is also known as the animal doctor, and also loads of exercise.
And very importantly, don't forget, check the water every day. Fresh water in those bowls every day, especially in summer, because the water evaporates and it gets warm.
Different dogs need different amounts of exercise, but unless they're getting old, feeling sore or sick, every dog will need a good walk every day. Exercise stops them from getting too bored, and just like us, it's really good for both their bodies and their minds. Although a pet cat needs the same thing that a pet dog does, you don't have to take them out for a walk each day. Cats can get their exercise through playing with their toys or using a scratching post while inside your home.
As well as these general rules, there are 5 important things we need to remember to be a responsible pet owner.
Rule number 1, clean up after your pet. No one wants to step on dog poo and get it on their shoes. It's smelly and it can carry germs. Always make sure you carry at least 2 bags to pick up dog poo when you go out with your dog for a walk. And remember to bag it, tie it, and bin it. To clean up the poo without getting it on yourself or anywhere else, put the poo bag over your hand, pick up the poo, carefully turn the bag inside out and tie it off using the handles before throwing it in a general waste or designated dog poo bin.
Rule number 2, having a secured fence. You need a secured fence to keep your dog inside, and make sure your dog cannot get over it or underneath. He must not be able to dig under the fence, and that will keep your puppy safe inside his home. We need to keep our cats safe as well, and to keep our cats safe we need a cat enclosure, and that will keep our cats safe inside from getting harm or damaging the environment.
Yeah, it also stops them from getting lost and make sure that they're always at home where we want them to be. Rule number 3, always walk your dog on a lead unless you're at a dog off-leash park like this one. Whenever you take your dog for a walk, they need to be on lead, and you need to make sure that it's securely clipped to either a collar or a harness. Your dog's collar should be a flat collar, like this one. Some dog owners use chains that tighten when you pull on them, or have prongs that dig into the dog's neck. These collars can hurt the dog and should never ever be used. Keeping your dog on leash keeps both your dog and other people around you safe. Council provides dog parks just like this one, where you can walk your dog off leash in this permitted space. Now you must make sure, even if you are in an off-leash park, that you are keeping an eye on your dog, just to make sure that they're not playing too roughly with any other dogs, so that you can intervene if you need to.
It's still your responsibility when a dog is off leash to keep an eye on him at all times. Rule number 4, microchipping. Microchipping is a very important requirement for your cat and dog. It is law to have our animals microchipped. This way, we can get them back to you because it has all your details on there, your name, your address, and contact details. So if your dog or cat go missing, we can get it back to you. This is our scanner, but if you have a look at that tiny little grain of rice in there, and that's the microchip which we put in the dog, and then this scanner will read the microchip. This way, if your dog gets lost, we can get the dog back to you.
Rule number 5. Queensland law tells us that every family needs to make sure that they register their dog with their local council. If not, they might receive a fine, which is no good. Some councils also need you to register your cat, so you really need to make sure you check your local area to see if you do or don't. When you register with council, they send you a tag like this. This tag is like when you write your name on your school backpack or pencil case to make sure that if you lose it, it can find its way back to you. By microchipping and registering your pets, you're ensuring that any lost pets can become found pets. Registration also helps council run rehoming centres so that we can keep finding lost pets and getting animals that need homes adopted out. Registration must be renewed every year, and council will send you out a reminder to make sure that you don't forget.
This is called a catch pole. These ones we retrieve all dogs that's running loose because we don't know how friendly they are. This is a short one, but for a dangerous dog, we will use a longer stick so we keep our distance keep us at a safe distance. This one is Sammy, our friendly little doggy. We can just go to her very easily, put it around her neck, and she won't hurt me, and we can retrieve and then take it to our van and off to our shelter to get at a safe place.
Sometimes dogs might be recognised as dangerous or menacing dog because they have attacked another person or dog, or made someone feel very scared. If this happens, there are 3 things that can show that it is a dangerous dog. Firstly, there will be signage on the fence of where the dog lives. Secondly, the dog will be wearing a special collar like this one or this one. If you see any collars that are similar to this, they both could demonstrate that that dog might be declared or menacing. Thirdly, they will have a tag on their collar, like this one, that shows that they are a dangerous dog. If you see any of these 3 signs, you should not try to pat this dog. And if you see them wandering the street without their owner, you need to let council know straight away so we can come and pick them up and keep you and the community safe. Having a furry friend as a part of our family can be such a rewarding experience. We just have to make sure that we do the 5. Number 1, make sure we always clean up after our pets, whether that's dogs or cats. Number 2, make sure that we always keep our animals inside either our house or our fenced area. Number 3, please make sure that if you're walking your dog, that your dog is on lead to keep you and everyone else safe. Number 4, please make sure that your animal is microchipped. And number 5, please make sure that your animal is registered. Just make sure you remember those 5 easy steps that we've laid out for you guys. And if you ever see one of us council officers out in the park, come and say hi, because we're just out in the community keeping you and your pets safe. Thank you. Thank you. Sammy says thank you.
Hi, Sammy.
Okay, thank you. Just further to this, so this is further to the presentation. As Rosalind mentioned, Brisbane City Council is hosting the Olympics in 2032. In 2027, the Asian Pacific City Summit returns to Brisbane from 15th to 17th September, bringing the region's premier event for city leadership, innovation, and the business of cities back to its birthplace. As the host city of the 2032 Olympics and Paralympic Games, Brisbane will provide an ideal backdrop for global conversations on urban transformation, infrastructure, livability and innovation. The 2025 summit was in the Expo City, Dubai, and reached a record scale with more than 2,000 delegates, 321 cities and 169 mayors and deputy mayors. The 2027 summit will build on this global momentum and take the event to a new level. The 2027 summit will deepen inner city connections, foster transformative ideas and amplify the voice of cities, continuing the energy of Expo City Dubai and setting the agenda for the next era of leadership. Thank you.